There was a man who could never finish anything, not because he was lazy, not because he lacked talent, but because his mind never stopped talking. Every morning he woke up with 100 thoughts fighting inside his head, and by night he had done nothing. His name was Arjun, 26 years old, living in a small apartment, working a job he didn't care about. He had dreams once, dreams of starting his own business, of writing a book, of learning guitar. But every time he tried to start, his mind would flood him. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? So he would stop. He would think more, plan more, research more, and do nothing. His friends called him smart. His family said he was careful. But deep inside, Arjun knew the truth. He wasn't careful. He was stuck, trapped in his own head. One evening, Arjun sat alone in his room. He opened his notebook, the same notebook he had been carrying for 3 years. Page after page of ideas, plans, goals, dreams, but not a single one completed. He stared at his own handwriting and felt something break inside him. "Why can't I just do it?" he whispered to himself. "Why do I think so much?" He remembered his childhood. He was fast then, fearless. He would climb trees without thinking, run without worrying, laugh without analyzing. But somewhere along the way, life taught him to be afraid. Afraid of mistakes, afraid of judgment, afraid of being wrong. And slowly, thinking became his prison. He thought about starting, he thought about quitting, he thought about thinking, and the cycle never stopped. That night he couldn't sleep. His chest felt heavy. His mind screamed at him. He grabbed his phone and started scrolling, looking for answers. And that's when he found a video. An old man sitting on a bench talking to the camera. The man said something that stopped Arjun cold. "Your mind is not your enemy, but it was never meant to lead. It was meant to follow." Arjun watched the entire video, then watched it again. The old man explained a simple truth. Thinking is a tool, but when you think before you act, you give fear a chance to grow. Action kills fear. Thinking feeds it. The next morning, Arjun woke up with the same heavy feeling, but this time he did something different. He didn't think. He got up, put on his shoes, and went for a run. His mind protested. "Why are you doing this? You don't even like running. What's the point?" But Arjun didn't answer. He just kept moving. And for the first time in years, his mind went quiet. Not because the thoughts disappeared, but because his body was louder. When he came back, sweating and tired, he felt something strange. Clarity. He sat down, opened his laptop, and started writing. Not planning, not researching, just writing. One sentence, then another, then another. His mind tried to interrupt. "This isn't good enough. You should edit this first." But Arjun had learned something. The mind will always find a reason to stop. Always. So he stopped listening. He kept writing, kept moving, kept doing. And slowly, something inside him shifted. Days passed, then weeks. Arjun started waking up earlier, not because he wanted to, but because he chose to. He started working on his business idea, not perfectly, but consistently. He made mistakes, a lot of them, but he didn't stop to overthink them. He just fixed them and moved forward. His friends noticed the change. "You seem different," one of them said. Arjun smiled. "I stopped thinking so much." They laughed. They thought he was joking, but Arjun wasn't joking. He had discovered a truth that most people never learn. Overthinking feels like progress. It feels like you're doing something, but you're not. You're just standing still, convincing yourself that you're moving. Real progress happens when you act before you're ready, when you move before you feel confident, when you start before your mind agrees. Arjun wasn't smarter now. He wasn't more talented. He was just faster than his fear, and that made all the difference. Here's what Arjun learned. Your mind is powerful, but it was designed to protect you, not to push you forward. It will always find danger, always find risk, always find reasons to wait. That's its job.
But your job is to move anyway, not recklessly, but bravely. Thinking has its place, but action has the power. Because the moment you act, your mind has no choice but to follow. It stops predicting. It starts solving. It stops imagining failure. It starts creating results. Most people live their entire lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling. But perfection is just fear dressed in logic. And while you wait for everything to be right, life passes you by. Arjun realized a simple but life-changing thing. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. The confidence comes later. The clarity comes later. The results come later. But only if you move first. Today, Arjun runs his own small business. It's not perfect. It's not huge, but it's his. And every morning, when his mind tries to pull him back into overthinking, he remembers one thing. Action is the only language fear doesn't speak. So he moves, he builds, he fails, he learns, and he keeps going. Because he's no longer the man who thinks about doing. He's the man who does. And that man is unstoppable. If this story touched something inside you, hit the like button, share it with someone who's been stuck in their own head, and subscribe for more stories that help you break free. Because the world doesn't need more thinkers, it needs more doers.